Somehow, some way, this situation with children, custodial parenting, non-custodial parenting, child support, so on and so forth, has gotten women thinking that they own the child. And they own the child so much that I'm going to take your child, you're going to pay for it, and then I'm going to tell you how much access, how often, how involved, how much I'm going to relay information-wise to you on what's actually going on with your kid. Make it make sense. What up, YouTube? This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table. Welcome to the table. Go ahead and drop these glasses. You know what I do when I get on the camera and I get in the kitchen, I get cooking? Today's no different. I'm going to tell you where I got beef with. I'll tell you what bothers me more than most things on the planet. You want to know what that is, gentlemen? That is the audacity of baby mamas. I want to talk about this. I have personal experience with this. I myself have a son. So I've been through the drama. I've been through the breakdown of communication. But one thing that had, crossed my mind, I was thinking about it yesterday, I was like, what gives baby mamas the mindset that they can control and dictate the situation that is y'all kid, right? Now, the reason what made me think about this is because, in most situations, every situation is a little different. To give you guys a little feedback on mine, since I know you guys want to know, because I know you're probably curious, like, okay, how did that situation? I won't go into all the details, but I will say that my kid came unplanned like most people's, some 17 years ago now, and I decided that I didn't want to be with his mother. So that's what happened. I was serving in the military. She got pregnant. It's kind of how it went down. Halfway through my duty, she decided to change location because where my son was born was California. She relocated to Texas. And my kid has resided in Texas since he was about 3 or 4 years old. Now, anybody on this broadcast who has experienced anything relative to what I'm talking about knows the headaches and things associated with family law and so on and so forth. And then the manosphere has done a good job lately of explaining all of the facets and details and the trials of sorts that happen within this space. It's a lot. But I'm not going to go about the legal part of it. I'll save that for another broadcast. What I wanted to discuss and talk about was, I find it interesting, and I hope that there's some baby mamas listening to this particular broadcast, because this is for y'all too. What gives you the right to determine that it's okay for the non-parental party, in most cases the man, to fund the child's life, to participate in his fatherly role financially, but you don't find it necessary for that same type of authority, that same type of involvement outside of his wallet? And that's what I want to talk about. It's problematic, gentlemen, because see, somebody has convinced these women that they get to dictate and control the situation. I don't agree. I think it's nonsense. I think that if there comes a situation where two people decide to have a kid and they're not going to parent that kid together in a relationship, and they're going to decide to, live their lives or whatever, that the kids should be mutual ground. The kids should be the what I call the point of, like, it should be a stalemate of sorts. It should be neutral, right? The problem lies is that there's still this baked in mindset for women to operate in this old school perspective. I'll give you an example. The modern day would dictate to most women that they're independent, they stand alone, they boss chicks, so on and so forth. I don't need no man, blah, blah, all of that. But when it comes to this money, They're totally okay playing the receiver in a situation. And I'm cool with that. I think that as a man, we're supposed to be responsible for our seed. We're supposed to be responsible for taking care of the things that, exist with your children, your child or your children. However, what I want to see is more involvement with the actual position that you hold. See, gentlemen, if you are in a situation where you're contributing to your kid or children and you're, under a child support order or whatever it may be, that order shouldn't be just from a financial perspective. And I know there's visitation and all of those things, but let's be clear. The judicial system don't give a damn about, your kid emotionally. They don't care if your kid has emotional support. They don't care if your child, learns from the father. They don't care if you are imprinting and imparting into your children's life. What they care about is getting a case on your hard work, your effort, your money, your earnings, so that they can continue to have air conditioner in their freaking county and state buildings, so that they can continue to hand out bonuses each year and allow for the perpetuation of the judicial system, pretty much putting links, putting hands into your pockets, gentlemen. And it's nonsense. Any woman that puts you on child support, gentlemen, any woman that puts you on child support, she is a horrible person. And I don't disagree with your decision to potentially not be with her. However, the demise of the relationship took place. Why can I say that with the vigor? Why can I say that with the energy that I have? Because see, to put a man on child support says that you don't care about that man's future. You don't care about his progress, and you're selfish. Now, some may be saying, nah, D, I don't know if I can rock with you on that. I'm a man about mine. I'm going to take care of mine. I'm going to make sure my kids don't want for nothing. Great, good. Congratulations. I agree. That's how it should be. But the moment that the judicial system gets involved, gentlemen, the moment that it becomes a court case order, it is no longer about integrity. It is no longer about you as a father and your true contribution to that child, that family, that psyche of that child, the emotional support that that child's going to need, the guidance that that child is going to need. No, it is now a profitable pie chart situation. And I have a serious problem with it because women are the ones that assist in the progression of this order, of this practice. They support it. It's nonsense. I believe that if I pay for something, if my money is being directly deposited into a situation, then I should have certain amounts of, influence on what that entails. I give an example because I like to use examples that are relative to business where people can understand. So let's say I walked into a car lot. I bought a brand new car, $75,000 vehicle, whatever it may be, right? And they say, Mr. Rucker, okay, your payment's going to be due every month. You're going to have to pay insurance on it, but you can only pick it up on the weekend. And I say, well, why is that? Oh, well, because we're going to hand access of this vehicle over to your ex. So she will let you know when you can come pick it up on the weekend. And if she decides to change up this order of when you actually get to drive the car that you're paying for, then, she'll let you know. And that situation being okay. No, it's not okay. If I'm paying for the vehicle, then I should be able to determine what kind of tires I put on it, what kind of gas goes inside of it, what kind of alarm system, if I tint the window, so on and so forth. It's the same situation. But somehow, some way, this situation with children, custodial parenting, non-custodial parenting, child support, so on and so forth, has gotten women thinking that they own the child. And they own the child so much that I'm going to take your child, you're going to pay for it, and then I'm going to tell you how much access, how often, how involved, how much I'm going to relay information-wise to you on what's actually going on with your kid. Make it make sense. This mess is crazy. And it got me thinking, like, no. The one thing about being in a position to pay for something, paying for something gives you authority. Funding something gives you authority. And that should be executed and carried out and treated as such. If a woman is fortunate enough to get a man that can afford to pay child support or is paying any level of child support, then that woman should be participating and making sure that that man's involvement with that kid supersedes his wallet. That woman should be at that man's, I won't say beck and call, but she should be at that man's mercy, because guess what? He's contributing to the very kid that he made with you. And this attitude that you are superior in the equation that is motherhood. You know, I get sick of this mindset that these women think that these children belong to them. The children don't belong to you. The very children that you have, women, are not even biologically chosen by you. Meaning, you can't determine once you get pregnant if you're going to have a daughter or a son. That is determined by the seed. That comes from us. You are the incubator. You house the child. The child has a home with you for 8 to 9 months, and then the child is returned into the world for us to guide, to parent, to love, to raise. This mindset that this is mine, like this ownership. And see, that's why I'm a part of the remainder of this broadcast. See, the way I think is ownership is this. If you're going to take ownership of a child as a woman, if you're going to decide that you don't no longer want to be with this man, or this man's going to decide to no longer be with you, and you're going to take true ownership and be the woman, be the boss babe, be who you claim to be, then you own that all the way across the board. You own it from left to right, up to down. You don't take a percentage of it and figure out, well, you know, this is his kid too, so let me see how much I can tax him for. Let me see how much he can contribute to make the decision I'm making easier. The one thing that makes no sense about the whole equation is half the time, if you were to just, as a woman, give custody to the give custody to the father, there would be no child support. Most men that I know, that I've even observed, do not have the desire, the will, the mindset, the thought to ever file for child support on a woman. You want to know why? Because most men are adults in their development. Most men understand what it is to have accountability, responsibility. They own it. The whole thing, not a portion of it. And most men would not feel nor think it be necessary for a woman to contribute financial contribution to the very thing that is my seed, my lineage, my offspring. Men own, with ownership to us, we take ownership. So we make sure that we gonna carry it all the way across the board. It's not half-assed, it's not partial. That's how we do it. And you women out here are posing as though you are really doing it on a level that is actually adult-like. No, you're a poser. You're taking advantage of the situation because the law helps assist in that. Then you take your little half cute butt and try to go out and date again, and then bring some other man into your situation while you're still tied to another man financially, biologically. Like, the audacity, I can't. And I'm like, something needs to change. They're talking about it in the manosphere. Men need to protect their seed. Men need to be more considerate and conscious of the fact on who they decide to impregnate. But gentlemen, on top of that, if the event does occur and you guys do have a child, and for whatever reason the relationship doesn't work out, the strategy behind how you're gonna move forward, it needs to be discussed. Men need to actually get a little bit more privy to the law. I will say that. And I think most men, because of our pride and because of the way we look at it, you know, you don't want to be looked at as no sucker, or you don't want to be soft, or sometimes it's just pure ignorance of the vastness that is the law, that you don't want to waste your time. Most men I know will kick down some cash. Most men I know will take care of their situation, just like I was prior to my actual child support case being filed on me. I was paying out of pocket for years before I ever had an actual case. But either way, and I get it, gentlemen, but in order for the men of society in the future to progress, we gotta make decisions from a foresight position, seeing things as they can happen, learning from other people's choices, learning from other people's mistakes. And if you are in a situation with a woman and she has your seed and you guys are co-parenting and raising that kid, well, then you need to be on her head about progress reports, about, you know, grades, about what kind of sports and activities that child is involved in, if any, about the behavior that you're seeing when you do actually get the time with your kid and questioning everything. That's what I want to see. I want to see relationships being managed and worked out and not it being dominated by the female population and the nonsense that's existing now. So that is what I want to touch on today. You know, if you have not already done so, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. I'm 2 subscribers away from 400. I appreciate you guys helping me to grow. Still shooting to get to that 1K. So I'm going to need you guys' help. Let me know what I need to do in order to get to that subscriber count. This is Daniel Rucker with Truth Table signing out. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be easy.